Okay, the fire officer's role in the budget process. Um, as a fire officer two, probably captain, assistant chief, you're going to be involved in a budgetary process in some aspect, whether it be looking for quotes, writing up some reports to purchase equipment, things like that. So I have a little bit of experience working with budgets as a past fire chief, and I'm just going to give you what I know very briefly just to describe the budget process. So overview, we're going to talk real quick about the functions of a budget, who uses a budget, types of budgets, the budget process real quick, some politics involved in the budget process. So functions of a budget. A budget's a planning tool used by administrators. It's also used by chief officers for various program improvements or implementations. All right. Budgets can affect long-term changes in your department. It also controls the financial accountability with the taxpayers' money, because remember, it's not your money. The money belongs to the taxpayers in most cases. So functions of a budget. So management works within a budget. Planning, we work within a budget to provide planning, set objectives, and see how resources can get spent or be purchased or utilized within budget guidelines. So who uses a budget? A budget is a legal document. It's used by government. All right. Elected officials are restricted by budgets. Managers of organizations, such as you or your chief, is restricted by a budget. Everyday citizens, we all have budgets. We have, we run our households. We budget for rent. We budget for gas money. We budget for entertainment. We budget for food. So everybody uses a budget in some form. Business groups, again, use budgets. All right. So types of budgets. An operating budget. So an operating budget is just what it is. It's a budget that the money is there for you to use for the day-to-day operations to run the fire department. You need to buy fuel for the apparatus. You need to buy food. You need to pay certain bills. You need to buy fuel oil, pay for gas bills, electric bills for the fire department, for the firehouses. So it's basically the day-to-day operations of the fire department. Capital budgets, they're usually for big items. One-time purchases, usually with a lifespan of more than 5 years. And that money is normally approved through the election process when the electorate goes to the polls and has to approve those purchases. In most cases, especially when you're dealing with fire districts, there's a lot of other things that are involved in that, but just for the most part for us, just to understand operating budget, day-to-day operation, capital budget, big purchases such as fire trucks, chief's cars, air packs, things like that. All right, things that cost a lot of money and you're going to have a long lifespan. So budget cycles, fiscal year. Most federal governments, the federal government, and many state and local governments operate on what they call a fiscal year budget cycle. So that's January 1st through June 30th. All right. Calendar year budget. A lot of fire districts work on a calendar year budget. So that goes from January 1st through December 31st. There is such a thing called a temporary budget, and this has to deal with fire districts when the fire district's budget ends on the December 31st, but the new budget isn't approved in New Jersey until the voters vote on the budget, and normally that's the second Saturday in February if you're a fire district. So in that interim, from January 1st until the budget is approved, the fire districts usually work on what they call a temporary budget. So that's usually, if I'm not mistaken, approximately 14% of the previous year's budget. And again, they can't really go out and buy a lot of things. It just mainly to keep the fire department operating until their budget is approved. So budget formats, line item budgets, organizes the expenditures by categories. This is what a lot of the fire districts use. This is what I'm most familiar with. Provides a clear understanding where the monies are going. It's not real flexible. Once the money's in a line item, it's supposed to stay in that line item. It can be transferred at the end of the year, but has to be done via resolution if you're a fire district. And a lot of times, if unspent money in line items may get transferred to another line item, and if it's your funding line that you're looking for, you may lose it. So you need to keep an eye on your budget. Performance budgets. Not that familiar with performance budgets. Obviously, as the name infers, it's based on some type of performance. Goals or objectives are set. The money is allotted for those, and usually once the goals or the objectives are reached, that funding may go away in the future. Zero-based budget. It starts from zero every year, so I don't think it's a budget that a lot of fire districts use, but the money has to be approved for each line item per se, and it's a very subjective budget. So I really don't have much experience with that type of budgeting system. Budget hearings. As a fire officer, once you get to this level, you're most likely going to be going into a budget hearing, especially if you're dealing with a board of fire commissioners in a fire district. All right, and again, I'm just bringing this out because that's what I know. Right. So if you're going to go in, you have to have a plan. You need to know what you want. You need to be prepared. All right. Have a detailed report. We talked about report writing. Have a detailed report. Have a white paper. Have something down. Have hard copies. Pass it out to the board members. All right. Do your homework. Just don't sit there and say, "Well, Chief, why do you want this this new piece of equipment?" Well, because we want it. All right. Have a plan. Have a report. Have a good spiel of why you need it and why you're asking for it. Right. So again, expect questions. Right. If you're being interrogated, I say interrogated. If you're being interrogated or asked questions in the budget hearings, first of all, don't lie, because chances are you're going to get found out. All right. Statistics. If you're going to throw statistics out there, be aware that statistics can be used both for and against you. So you may throw something out there and they may counter with something else. So just again, do your homework. All right. Keep your cool. All right. If you're calm, sincere, and professional, things could change later in the game. I've gone into budget hearings, argued for certain things, and it just wasn't going to happen. So again, be calm, be cool. A little bit later, say I don't recall exact experiences, but I do recall at some point more than once that later on down the road it says, we found money for what you're asking. So again, be professional, be calm, be cool. There's always another battle, so don't die on your sword for just one thing. All right. Budget spending. All right, spending may have to be spread out through the year. Again, the fire districts, and I speak of fire districts because that's what I'm most familiar with. The fire districts don't get their monies right away. All right, they get the monies from the town, and the town uses the money first. They take that bulk of money that they get from the tax, and they hold on to it, and they dole it out sparingly to the fire districts. From what I understand, most of the fire districts, they get the majority of their money at the end of the year. So you may not get that piece of equipment you want right away, but eventually you'll get it. All right. So if you're dealing with purchase orders, don't wait till the end of the year. Make your purchase orders out, get your quotes, get your stuff in. Again, sometimes purchases take time, so get your purchase orders in, get your quotes in. As long as the financial officer has your requests, when the money becomes available, they can start doing their purchasing. So don't wait till the last minute. Keep track of your budget. make sure that the money is encumbered. So when encumbered is that they know that you want to spend the money on a specific line item. You have quotes, you've already put in a purchase order for it. That money gets set aside. So okay, we've encumbered this money. It's set aside for that piece of equipment that you're looking for. So it's not going to get put back. It's not going to get taken away and put into another line item. So again, come the end of the year, your monies can be transferred. So if you think your money is sitting in there, you haven't spent it, and you haven't encumbered it, all of a sudden you're looking at line item A and the money's gone. So you're out of luck. So keep track of your budget. Make copies of purchase orders before submitting. Have records of it. In case the purchase order gets lost, you can say, hey, I have a purchase order. I turned it in this time and date. This is what we're looking for. And get friendly with the person in the administration who does the purchasing, who takes care of the budget, who takes care of the bookkeeping. Keep them close, and keep asking to be updated on your budget situation. They'll print you out a copy of your budget and what you spent, what you have left. You just have to ask. So you just got to keep on top of things. And remember, when you get to this level, it's all about the money, and everybody in the organization wants their piece of the pie. So it's up to you to make sure you don't get left out at the table. All right. So thank you for listening, and we have a little project for you to do as an assignment. So go to the assignment and give me a well-written procedure, budget item, whatever I put down in that assignment. So well-written, thought out, as if you were looking to purchase a piece of equipment and you're going to trying to justify that you want to buy it. All right. So that said, we'll see you next time. Thanks.